Hello, music's on. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is Fiercestbard. Hello. We're doing art today. Art, that is different from yesterday's because we finished yesterday's art. We finished the basically we finished the fan art that we were doing of Zendaya from well, she's an indie VTuber, and it was inspired by her Kamen Rider outfit. That one was pretty cool to finish. Actually, you know what? Let me pull it up here real quick, just so you guys can see the completed version. Because actually, I added some effects to it after this morning and stuff like that. I kind of added a little bit more glow to it and things like that. Just a little bit of stuff. Yeah, there we go. So this is the finished artwork. Let's see. I added like a little bit of greenish orange type of color to where she's glowing, and then added some of the reflected light from the glows over here and stuff like that to it, right? So it's like, you know, it's got the full glow up, as it were, and stuff. And you know, like, it has all the effects on it and stuff like that. Pretty happy with the way it came out. Hoping that the one that we're doing today, of the Amazing Digital Circus, will come out just as good. Hopefully. You never know. You never know. But so far, getting there. Golden, what's up? Hello. How are you doing, Golden? But yeah, what I did do was I started adding shadows to Ragatha, and I actually changed Pomni's coloring a little bit, because originally I had Pomni in the shadow underneath Jax, right? Just like everybody else, because the sun is behind them, so that the light is coming towards us. So it should mean that everybody else is in cover, except for, like the tertiary characters that are like more on the side. But the thing is, the light is actually hitting Jax's fingers here, right? And also his hair, his ears, I should say, right? So actually, there's a light ray that's actually coming and flooding in around over here and stuff like that, like in between Jax's ears and fingers. So I was like, oh yeah, you know what? That might mean that there might be like some kind of light leak of some sort, because even though the sun is over there, it's the sand is casting light backwards at everybody and all that other stuff, right? So there's gonna be some kind of bounce. So I decided to just sneak in a little bit of a column of light that's hitting Pomni, because technically, even though Pomni is underneath Jax, she still is more forward than him. So she shouldn't be subject to the same exact situation as Jax is. So it pushes her forward a little bit more, and everybody else stays behind. So that's kind of, what I'm trying to do anyway. I'm just here bored and chilling. Otherwise, I'm good. How you been though, bro? I've been pretty good, except for the fact that, like, apparently everything in the bounty hunter hovel is falling apart. So you guys heard last week when I was not last week, but a couple of days ago, when I was talking about the fact, did I mention it here? So a couple of days ago, basically, there was a huge leak of water. Well, it was not that big, but water was leaking from the ceiling. Apparently, someone upstairs was doing some kind of work, and they they sprang a leak. They fixed it, but it still dripped down into our kitchen and stuff like that, right? So that's one thing, right? We got that mostly squared away. It didn't really do too much damage or anything like that, but we got it mostly squared away. And then what else? I'm trying to get the hood fan over the stove replaced, right? Because the motor burnt out on it, so we can't exhaust our fumes from not smoking. Jesus, from the kitchen. So we can't cook, and because if we cook, there's gonna be smoke in the house. That's what I'm trying to say. And So we got an electric conductive stove top for the time being to replace it, but it's hindering our ability to cook very efficiently, right? Because sometimes you cook with more than one pot or pan or whatever, right? So that's number 2. And now number 3, the new thing this morning, the dishwasher. So this dishwasher, I don't know how long has been here in this apartment. I guess it's from before our time, but I guess it started having this crunching sound. Like it was it's like gargling stones or something like that inside of it, right? And it started making that sound really loud and nonstop this morning. Like it just suddenly started happening and stuff, right? So from living in Cappy Town, sometimes you have to take things into your own hands, right? Like situations, right? And I kind of learned to do that a little bit. I basically went and looked up some facts and some videos online of what do you do when you hear that sound, because maybe it's something easy that you can fix, right? Not so easy. I had to take apart the filter inside of it and get my way to the pump, the pump that's inside of the dishwasher, and it had stinky water in it and all that stuff, right? I did find a piece that was loose inside of it. So there was like a little plastic circle thing. I don't know where it came from, but it looked pretty chewed up pretty badly. I guess it was inside of the pump as it was going and stuff like that, and just like grinding the motor on the inside for the entire time. So that immediately fixed the gargling stones sound problem, but the motor won't stop. It's just continuing to go. So I looked up a little bit more info on there, and it looks like I have to call someone in to take care of that. That's not something that I can do by myself, unfortunately. So yeah, like our kitchen is falling apart. It's falling apart. It's just like either it's falling apart or we're cursed and I need to get an exorcist for the kitchen because the kitchen's haunted or something. I don't know what's going on, but it is completely like, falling apart at the seams and stuff like that. But otherwise I'm good. Otherwise we're really good. But yeah, here, let me grab the color that I need real quick. Let me grab the color I need real quick. And there's the sound, the bellowing sound of our young boy, Coffee. Damn, that kind of sucks, but at least nothing crazy bad has been happening yet. No, nothing crazy bad has been happening. Mooney actually got sick though, earlier this week, and she's doing a whole lot better. As you guys can see from things on her side. So, that was good. That was always good. So, I'm happy about that. So, otherwise though, things have been pretty good. Otherwise, other than the fact that, again, my kitchen is probably haunted or something. That's what Mooney tells me all the time. She tells me that the kitchen is haunted. Because she knows that I get spooked out. I'm not like a spiritual person, by the way. I'm not like specifically a person that has like any kind of religious thing. Not that that's a bad thing or anything like that, but I'm just not, right? And I because of Cappy Mama, I developed a little bit of like a spookiness in my life. Like Cappy Mama always believed in all the Cappy stuff, right? Like the old school Cappy stuff, like beliefs and things like that, right? But for me, I never really did. But because of that, I also looked and watched a lot of horror movies, and I also looked and watched a lot of those what are they like Searching for Bigfoot, things like that, right? So I watched a lot of those freaking shows growing up, and unfortunately it makes me very susceptible to creepiness. It makes me incredibly susceptible to creepiness. If you guys wanted to scare me or whatever, right? Like I am very easy to spook. Let's just say. And Mooney knows this, so she always tries to spook me out with stuff. She is highly aware of this, and she does not hold back sometimes when she's spooking me out. Let's see. Here we go. Nice to hear things are going good otherwise, though. Yeah, you know, like, things are going pretty good otherwise. I am getting ready for convention time. As you guys know, I am gonna soon be participating in one of the first artist alleys that I was able to get into this year at CarrierCon and stuff like that, right? So I am full throttle trying to get things going for that right now. And, you know, like, a couple of these artworks are actually for that purpose. So I think, you know, we're making... I think I'm behind schedule, to be honest. I'm not gonna say that we're making good time. Actually, I think we're behind schedule with certain things, but it's okay. It's okay. You always feel like you're not ready, so you know. Oh, there's a ghost behind. No, no Scooby Doo. No, Scooby. There is no ghost behind me. There is no ghost behind me. Damn it. Like, what is it? Mooney always likes to tell me to not look in the corners, like very creepily. She'll come up to me and then she'll have this smile on her face and then she'll be like, "Bard, don't look in the corners." And I'm like, why? No, I'm not looking. She always does this to me. And I get spooked out by it every single time, by the way. Because one day, you never know. One day it could be true. One day. But no, there's no Scooby. There's no Scooby-Doo here. We don't do the Scooby gang. Because I will like, you know, my friends and I, we were always into the Ghost Hunters thing. Like, we will watch those shows even knowing, like, a lot of them are BS and stuff like that, right? Or we'll still watch them for fun and stuff like that. And I've been asked a couple of times, like, oh, you know, Bard, would you ever go ghost hunting and stuff like that, right? And I'm like, hell no. Why would I want to bring that stuff onto myself? Like, you know, like, at best, it's like it doesn't exist. At worst, you actually get cursed and stuff like that, right? And freaking, like, one day my friends found what did they find? They found like it was like a building in Cappytown that was purported to be haunted, and they were giving ghost tours, and they were like, "Hey Bard, when do you get out of work?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know," right? And like at this time, and then like after work, they dragged me over, and they're like, "We're going on a ghost tour," and I was like, "You guys cannot be serious! Oh my god, you guys cannot be serious!" They actually brought me to a ghost tour from a supposedly haunted location. It was rather. I'm not gonna say the ghost tour wasn't fun or anything like that. I mean, I learned a thing or two about the building and, you know, stuff like that. But man, there was like, I remember very specifically, there was like during the ghost tour, like, so they were bringing us to each floor of the home, apartment, building, whatever it was, right? It was like a very old 100-plus-year-old building of some sort, right? That was still around in Cappytown and stuff like that, right? So they were bringing us to each floor and talking about the history of who lived there and stuff like that. And then during the whole like tour, there were like these two people. They obviously came by themselves. Hello, Nomis, how you doing? I always thought it would be interesting and cool to go ghost hunting, but I don't mess with abandoned places and stuff. No, you shouldn't, because the abandoned places are where you get trapped. And then when like if you've ever seen any horror movies, you should know never to go to abandoned places with stuff, okay, with ghost hunting stuff, because that's the stuff that's gonna fail you the moment you need it, and then you go on your phone and then that shit doesn't work, and then you're screwed, right? Because you're gonna get a message out and then nobody's gonna understand what you're trying to say because you're too busy running and screaming for your life. I've watched way too many freaking horror movies. I know this. No, but yeah, like during the tour of the mansion, there was these two people behind us, right? And now these two people were like legit ghost hunters. They were actual ghost hunters. Like they had the recording devices, they had a camera and stuff like that, and they were like trying to ask questions, but being very cautious to not disturb the caretaker, like of the place when they were giving the tour and stuff like that. So they were trying not to disturb the tour, but at the same time they were really trying to, like, you know, do the ghost hunting thing. They were really trying to do this and stuff like that while we were all on the tour and stuff like that. So they would like ask they would walk to a corner of a room and like ask a question, and then would like replay their listening device to themselves and stuff like that. Like they were hardcore about it. They were hardcore about it, and I was just like, man, I see this on the shows and I'm amazed by it. But also, damn, like, for real? For real? I was just like, oh no. Oh no. I've been getting info watching urban exploration and stuff, and that stuff is low-key more scary than ghost hunt. Yo, the urban exploration videos, like, some of them are crazy. Like, the ones with I saw one on YouTube. I'm not gonna say who or which one it is, because I can't even remember, and I probably shouldn't mention, like, you know, whose channel, because like you don't want to get into urban exploration stuff, because it's not because of the ghosts or anything like that. Like, I'm not gonna say that that's like a thing, right? But it's because the places you go usually are very dangerous. Like, I think they were exploring a decommissioned old nuclear power plant of some sort and stuff like that. Like, they got themselves into the area where they had the you know how every power plant has like a big chute that just kind of aims at the sky, and then nothing but like this steam comes out of that chute, right? They got themselves into that area and stuff like that. They started looking in and how deep it went and stuff like that. And usually those are the the containment areas. Like, basically the bottom floor of those chutes, right, are where the nuclear fuel is stored. Then it's just giant pools of water to contain the radiation, because water is actually a very good buffer between you and radiation and stuff like that, right? Like, if you have very deep water and radiation, like in a radioactive object is underneath that water, right? As long as you're not in the water, you're pretty safe. You're pretty safe. Oh, Yukimura, I am not Sussy Cappy-chan. I'm talking today about scary stuff, and urban exploring. And all that other stuff. And for some reason, I'm talking to you guys about nuclear power plants, even though I'm not a nuclear physicist. But I know so much about this stuff for some reason. It's like, but yeah, like, you know, like when you go and you see, like, for example, if you actually saw like a piece of nuclear feel inside of like a pool of water, depending on the type it is, I believe you would see like a blue glow coming out of it. So I think they call that Cherenkov radiation and stuff like that. It's like when it's like inside of the water, like it's doing its thing. I don't think it necessarily has to be in the water for it to glow blue like that, because I think the Chernobyl was glowing blue like that too, apparently. But that's like the radiation just coming out of the object, and so you know that that's like a dangerous place for you to be. So please don't don't go urban exploring at nuclear abandoned nuclear sites. It's dangerous as all heck. You know, you don't know what they left behind. I'm also scared from girl booba. Hopefully no one can scare you know. But there's not much booba in this image today, Yukimura. I'm trying to finish the fan art from the amazing digital circus that I drew. So we got Pomni and Ragatha. Ragatha is I guess the most boobified one here. Ragatha. And who else is here? We got Jax and Kinger and all sorts of other characters in here. Yeah, no, I'm good. Screw that with the yeah. Yo, seriously. And then like, you know, the double punch of what if you're doing urban exploration, right? And you find yourself, like, for example, in the Pacific Northwest. Famously, the Pacific Northwest, right, is the forests there are like famous for people just disappearing. There's like a whole documentary about it. It's scary as all heck. Like it's called like the Missing 404 or something like that. Basically, they go through all these stories and files of these people. Like every year there's like literally hundreds if not thousands of people that like disappear in those woods for whatever reason, whether it's through because they're haunted or cryptids grab them, or maybe as something as simple as, hey, there was a mountain lion, you know what I mean. It's like you don't know, so you want to stay away from those places. And that's like the double punch of danger when it comes to urban exploration in places like that, you know. I'm talking IRL, man. Oh, you're talking IRL? Oh, I see. But yeah, like, yo, that shit is like, you know, dangerous encounters in general, also with either animals or dangerous people, is crazy too. Yeah, there's like a couple of YouTube videos of people that are like, oh, strange encounter I've had in the forest, like what is it, the Appalachians or something like that. There's like a video series from quite a few creators about that, because strange shit happens out there apparently, like just really strange things. If you've ever seen that movie The Descent, then you know to not go into the Appalachians. That's like, oh. Bruh, the only few I've seen in these explorations is that what if I just go missing and turns out that I become someone's food, or maybe part. No, Yukimura, no. That's what I mean. It's like you watch those movies.
Emotional damage!
And you get emotional damage from raiders. Hello, Mooney. Welcome in, Mooney. I'm gonna give Mooney the shout out. Hello. How is the rest of Persona? Did you make it through the dungeon? I didn't get to see the ending part of the dungeon run and stuff like that. I think you're still on Kanji's dungeon right now. Is that where you are? Welcome to give this bard emotional damage from the exploration, you know? W raid, I know, right? Is the W raid? They're playing Persona 4, so you know we're at Kanji's door. Oh, okay, yeah. I usually stop or around where the boss is, and then I think about whether or not I want to go in. I usually chicken out and then try to do it the next day. We're like level 18. Oh wow, I think you might. And I was gonna say, because 15 was the last dungeon, so it usually jumps like about 10 levels each dungeon. So I think I was about to say, I think you're pretty underleveled for that one. Why did I type that? Bro, my brain ain't braining. Look, Yukimura, like, it's okay if the brain ain't braining, because, you know, that's what happens to the best of us, right? Meanwhile, I was under level for Yukiko and survived. Oh, yeah, I think you because I remember watching you fight Yukiko, and it was like you were just kind of like you were like brute forcing that fight, and I was just like, I was watching it like, oh man. Like, for real, you can you do this? I was like, wow, that was crazy. But yeah, you know, like, Hopefully, you should go get something to eat or something, or take a break, because I know you were streaming for a while, so you should probably go and take care of yourself, Mooney, and get a snacky, or see if the boy wants a snacky. The boy always wants a snacky. Bard, when he's in front of a boss room, thinking pose, and for so long that he becomes a bloody statue. Yeah, I can't help it. Whenever I play these games, I swear, like I get very indecisive about whether or not to actually go and confront the boss, and then I'm like, oh, but that means that if I don't do this now, I gotta go and grind up more, but I don't want to grind because I'm too lazy. Oh, and then I get indecisive, and then I just like I warp out of the dungeon, and then I decide to do it the next day. That's how I am whenever I play any Persona game. I'm just like indecisive like crazy with the dungeon fights. And then I chicken out, and then I'm like, okay, I'll come back tomorrow. It's okay if I come back tomorrow, right? No one's getting hurt if I come back tomorrow. I guess that's why you can't trust me in a situation like that. But yeah, you know, like we were talking before about like urban exploration and haunting stuff. Haunting stuff of which you've contributed greatly to my fears, Mooney. Even though it's my fault for growing up and watching horror movies and things like that. It's mostly my fault. But it's okay, it's okay. Anytime I encounter a boss fight for a game, I always try to beat it, or at least try it out before I end it and pick up later. You know, and that's like a bad habit of mine, because I don't end it right there and pick it up later, right? Like my bad habit is I go to the boss room, I get nervous about how hard it might be, and then I'm like, okay, I can do this later. I don't need to do this right now. And then I procrastinate like crazy. And then like procrastination becomes days of procrastinating the boss fight. And then like those days of become months, become like weeks, and then pretty soon like I lose track of where I was actually in the game last. And then when I come back to the game, I'm like, what was I doing? Oh yeah, that's right, I was trying to decide if I was gonna fight this boss or not. You know what, I should probably think about that a little bit more. And then I end up not fighting the boss again. That's me when I'm playing role-playing games. Apparently I was traumatizing stream with my real voice. Oh no, I heard it. I heard what the voice that you were doing. No. That's not Mooney's real voice, chat. Please. That's not your real voice. I refuse to believe it. I refuse. Okay, is that all the colors Ragatha is? I think this is good. Okay. And then I gotta give her a layer of gloss. Apparently, I was traumatizing stream with my real voice. Why won't you accept me for who I am? No! Because that's not your real voice, damn it. I'm almost 100% positive that can't be your real voice. Let's see. How is this supposed to go? It's basically Stitch if we remove the ring aspect. This is what Mooney does to me. Now you guys can share in it too. But yeah, I'm just hoping to get this one done as soon as I can. I think I'm almost done with Ragatha here, so soon. Soon, if not now. So I'm trying to do like this effect where they all have like a shininess to certain parts of them, because they have this look of like, because I as I recall it from the first the first episode, they all pretty much have this look of like being, they're supposed to look like this low poly PlayStation 1 era video game type of thing. So it's like, you know, if they have like a glossiness to them, it's because of like the weird effect that they're trying to achieve with certain rendering modes, I guess, in video games from those days. So would you love me even if I was Smeagol? I mean, yeah. This is one of those questions, right? This is one of those trick questions, like the "Would you love me if I was a worm" thing. I feel like this is one of those questions. Why would I trick you? You would. Why wouldn't you not trick me? I don't know. I don't know if that came out right. Sorry, I had to illegally hydrate for a second there. Okay. So I think I got 2 of them done. Now it's all about Jax, right? Oops. But yeah, you know, like, I think it's fun to watch some of these videos on YouTube, but it does bring into question though, like okay, so it's like a lot of these influencers and stuff like that, right? Like who do these videos on YouTube, right? Like, you know, they're doing it for the clout and stuff like that, right? But it's like, you know, you have to think like, when does the danger not, you know, make it worth it, right? Like, because, you know, like some of the places these people go is just like, damn. I would not want to be in their shoes, basically. You know, with some of the places they go. But then again, I guess that's why those videos make they make the big bucks for these guys and gals who do these type of things. True, yeah, you know, like sometimes I wonder about that, like, you know, like do any of them have thoughts on like, okay, you know, like when does this become a little bit too real, right? Like, if that makes sense. Because, you know, there's only so many abandoned hospitals you can go to until you actually run into the one that's actually haunted or something, right? Like, you know what I mean? Okay, sorry. I just needed to concentrate a little bit on that portion right there. Bard, can I show you something in your DMs? You can show me something. You can show me something. Sometimes I will admit it is a little hard to keep track of everything, like messages from you guys as and stuff like that. But you know, it's all good. Found it on internet. Weird it was. It's so weird that it makes you sound like Yoda. The Thinker Bard, a thinker type adventurer. Le draw me like one of your French girls. What the heck? By Mooney Shoda. A bronze sculpture depicting a nude form of humanized sussy Capuchin's figure of heroics. You made this, didn't you? You had to have made this. I don't think you found this at all. Is the bard that sussy, or is it the post that's sussy? Wow. There we go. Why would you accuse them of that? They're innocent, I'm sure. They probably have a parental form that proves that they are innocent, chatter number 1. By the way, sent in general if anybody wants to see it. By general, you mean the Discord, right? Yeah, speaking of the Discord, I'm sorry if it's a little quiet in there. I know, like, you know, it is kind of like that with a lot of Discords and stuff like that, where it's like, it's super quiet in a lot of Discords. There's not much activity except for whenever I post art and stuff like that, or if somebody asks an arting question and stuff like that. But you know, it kind of is what it is. You know, I don't expect everybody to participate in it like 24/7 or something like that, right? Like you know, like the Discord will exist, you know, and things will happen the way that they happen. You know, it's all good. But yeah, I mention it only because I know that, you know, it's like a lot of people are in a gazillion different Discords to begin with. So it's like one of those things where it's like, oh. Let's see. Adding the shadows. Yeah, nah, man. I actually made a whole wiki for you just for me. Seriously? There's a Discord? Damn, you're not in? Thanks, Yukimura. Yeah, there's always been a Discord. no, mister, there's always been a Discord. It's just where I announce, basically I use it to post artwork, and announce, what is it? What was I gonna say? Announce, like my lives. That's it. I use it to announce when I go live and things like that, and stuff like that. It's quite quiet in there most of the time, especially since, you know, like I have a whole sussy art section and stuff like that that has not really been fully explored, unfortunately. But you know, like again, I don't want to force any kind of interactions. You know, if people want to just be in there just to see work in progress and, you know, just hear whenever I go live, that's good. That's good for me, you know, like I don't need, because I think, you know, again, like people are probably in a gazillion Discords to begin with, right? So it's like you don't need any more Discords to be in. I'm not really one to be yapping in Discords and stuff, but I always like to see all the updates and cool other stuff other people post, you know? He announced that he's gonna retire from being sussy, but that retirement lasts for 5 seconds. What are you talking about? It lasted at least 10 seconds last time, I think. It had to be at least 10 seconds. And then like, but yeah, I don't know, like, I think this will be done pretty soon. I have a feeling that I'm gonna finish this one pretty soon. And after this one, I will be working on something a little bit different because I have a commission behind the scenes that I have to start. Like, well, I have already started it, right? Like, I've already done sketching work and stuff like that, and it's like, but I got the okay on which design and which thing to go with, right? So I need to work on that quite a bit after this one, right? But it's not something that I can do on stream. But, you know, for time's sake, you know, we'll see what happens. Like, if I make a lot of good progress on it this weekend, then I won't have to make a plan, like other plans for stream or cancel any. Because there's a very real possibility that I might have to cancel stream just to work on that, right? Because you know, sometimes when you get commission work and stuff like that, right? Like, I know that this is like a topic. This is like a big topic on Twitter lately in the art community, right? And it's about artists who don't finish their commissions for like a year and things like that, and just let people linger without knowing what's up that's going on with their commissions. I have been trying desperately to not be like that with my own work. I learned very early on, and this was not an art commission thing. This was a learning experience from when I first started working freelance doing graphic design, actually. And I was incredibly late with some icons and stuff like that, right? And I got completely blasted by the client over that, because you know, it was taking me too long, and this was only by like a week and stuff like that, right? So it's like, you know, that's just a week. That's just by a week. So, you know, like, I can't imagine these days keeping somebody on hold for that long, but things happen in life, right? Like, you know, but I think that that's not really, things happen in life, but you make a commitment to the client that you took and stuff like that, right? So, you know, you can't really like use that forever, you know. So my thing is, now this project is not late in the lease, right? But it's got a deadline that's approaching next month, and unfortunately it falls into the same like area as, you know, of me trying to do all this stuff for CarrierCon, right? And stuff like that, right? So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, damn, like, it just happened. It just so happened that this is falling into that same timeline and stuff like that, right? So it's like, I will do my best to deliver on this as much as I can and stuff like that. And, you know, sometimes when it comes to like the stream and completing client work, I definitely prioritize the client work over the stream, unfortunately. So, you know, like, you know, not that I want to, but, you know, like, I kind of have to, right? Because it's just what I believe when it comes to doing this sort of thing. So, you know, there might be the possibility that I might have to cancel a stream or two in the next coming week or so. But I will keep people updated, because I will continue to be doing stuff, right? Like, I'm not going to be canceling streams because I'm not doing the art, right? I'm not really... Oh, wait, I read those. Okay, guy. But yeah, like, sorry, sometimes I look up from what I'm doing, and I think I see new messages, and it's like, oh, wait, I read that before. Okay, got it. But yeah, that's just life as Bard, unfortunately. And then, but yeah, that's kind of a general update for the next 2 to 3 weeks and stuff. And I also have to start printing like lots of stuff, right? So, you know, this CarrierCon print like prep work is not just prepping artwork for the con itself, but you know, also like printing and stuff like that, getting things ready. Sorry, my voice is like giving up on me right now. Because something is unfortunately caught in my throat, and I'm like trying to talk at the same time, but I don't want to be clearing my throat the entire time. But yeah, you know, so that's all the happenings right now over here. and you know, it's kind of what you sign up for when you're trying to do arting, like in this kind of manner and stuff like that. You just kind of sign up for this whole this whole situation, right? Like, you know, getting yourself into the crunch of things, and then, you know, like managing personal projects as well as you know, your arting goals for tabling at an artist alley for a convention and stuff like that. There's just a lot of stuff that you have to juggle and stuff like that. And you know, I can see why some artists just like really burn out in these situations and stuff like that. You know, like it's a real, I feel like it's a real testament to the ability of some artists to just power through all this when the convention season starts for the year for them and stuff like that. I'm gonna do my best. We shall see if that's good enough for this year. But yeah, I also kind of want to do, like, you know, I also kind of want to get back to doing certain art for certain characters and stuff like that I've kind of neglected doing, right? Like, you guys know that I play DK a lot, and I also like games like the Atelier series and things like that, and I haven't been drawing a whole lot of artwork for that stuff, and I kind of want to get back into it, you know, because that's kind of where I started everything from. Just drawing like Nikkei and gaming fan art and stuff like that. And for a while here, I've been doing VTubers, a combination of VTubers and then like weird things that I don't normally, I guess is not normally in my wheelbarrow of things. Like I drew Spider-Gwen like a couple of weeks ago, which I can actually finish right now, actually. Like I just need to add the background buildings and stuff like that. So that's another one I could finish too, if I really wanted to. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I could actually do right now when it comes to arting and stuff like that. So I'm glad that I have so many projects, so to speak, you know, like that I'm working on. Like, you know, like even outside of doing stuff like this, right? Like it means that I'm still motivated, and I'm still you know, I'm still happy to do the arting thing. And I don't think there's a whole lot that could stop me from being like motivated to art. But like though there are some things like recently, like if you guys saw the post from what was Taehyung Kim, I think that's that was his name, the artist that used to do all the artwork for like Ragnarok and Magna Carta and all those older 90s RPGs and stuff like that. And he recently also very responsible for Destiny's Child and not the band, but the game, the mobile game and stuff like that, and Nikkei and stuff like that, doing that very controversial post of congratulating Yoko Taro for getting the job of writing the new Evangelion anime series, but celebrating it by posting a picture that was clearly AI generated, and then kind of blocking certain artists from seeing said image. And one of those things, this is again one of those situations of never meet your heroes type of thing. I know a lot of people that were huge fans of his work, especially some other artists that were growing up around the same time that I was, and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where it's like, damn, man. And you know, like you kind of understand from the point of view of you're a CEO, so you're trying to look for the most profitable way of doing things for yourself, but then it's like you're also an artist, so how could you? You know, it's like one of those like paradoxes, right? Like of yeah, it sucks but true, you know? It's like, seriously, just never meet your heroes, man. Like, and the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I do like Nikkei, I do like Stellar Blade. Those are two of my favorite recent things, and they're both from the same studio. You know, that from and you know, art from this particular artist, right? But it's just, it is a little bit disappointing, you know. Like, I mean, their whole thing about why they use AI is because they want to eliminate redundant stuff, because they have enough work that they can feed it into the large language model and just kind of you know, get something out of it and stuff like that. But you know, I'm just kind of like, you're so talented, you don't need this. But you know, like, sometimes I will say that maybe this is a case of someone falling out of love with the process. You know, this might be that case. You know, this might be what's happening there. You know, which is again rather unfortunate, right? I would say for myself though that I will continue. I messed with it. I'm not gonna lie, I did mess with it when it first when the stuff first came out, because I'm the type of person that is very inquisitive in terms of like, I need to know how it works because it's something that's new. And I definitely need to see what the heck it's all about and stuff like that, right? So it's not like I've never touched it before, but I think for me, you know, I enjoy the actual process of creating the actual art. Like, I think that that's one thing for a lot of young artists these days, when they question themselves about whether or not you know, it's gonna like, what do we think about AI art, and why, like, how do we feel about it, right? Like, is it going to make you stop doing the thing that you're doing now? And my answer is always no, because again, I actually like drawing. I actually like doing the process of drawing and stuff like that, right? And you know, for everyone it's different, right? Like, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, but you can't make any money on it then, and stuff like that, right? But I'm like, well, you can't make any money playing video games, but you still play it because you enjoy it, right? Like, so, like, you know, for me, that's the approach that I have with arting and stuff like that. You know, it's like, it's not entirely like, I would love to be able to make a living and live off of it, right? Because I think it's the one thing that I do in life that's probably my strength as a person. If there's anything that I can say that, like, oh, you know, Bard does this pretty good, I think it's arting that I do pretty good, you know, at least decently, you know. And you know, like, it's something that I would not stop doing just because I, you know, like can't make money off of it, because it's like, I was doing it before then. What, like, so what's the difference for me now, right? Yeah, don't even get me started on the crazy stuff that goes on in the music industry, especially on the music producer side. Oh yeah, you know, I can only imagine, right? Like, because, you know, you have to imagine, like, they probably are like thinking to themselves, like, you know, I just want to get this done, like the sample done or whatever, and then they're like, well, I'm just gonna, you know, steal this person's voice and then just do it, right? And then it's like, you know, justified because, oh, well, it's not going to be released anyway, I just needed to, to get something in first and stuff like that, right? But yeah, like I think the danger with relying on, and this is not me trying to preach to the choir about AI art. I don't care what you do, you know, like if you feel like that's your thing, whatever, you know, it's like. But I will say that there's a lot of like I saw a YouTube video recently about it, and some art directors were talking about, like, you know, the prospect of hiring somebody who, you know, does a lot of photo bashing, right? So photo bashing was like it's the process of taking a lot of different photographs and cutting pieces out of it, right? And then what you do with photo bashing when it comes to concept art, right, is like you'll take the background and then you'll cut out buildings from someplace, right? And then you will just like collage it together first as the background, and then with people and characters collaged in and stuff like that, and then you will make layers over that and paint on top of that, right? And, you know, like just to get a concept out there very quickly and stuff like that. And a lot of people do that process when it comes to doing concept work, right? And but the, you know, this person was saying, like, you know, they are in charge of hiring like talent to, you know, for arting and stuff like that, right? And they've noticed, like, ever since the, you know, like those days, right, like where there's people who understand the power and the limitations of photo bashing, and they take it a little bit too far, where they don't even really understand how to create something new, you know, at that point. So they're not turning in work that's like, okay, this is creative, like this is like actually like, oh, this is kind of interesting to look at because I've never seen somebody do this before, or something like that. Now I know that not everything can be like that in life. I mean, everything has been drawn, everything original has been done already, right? It's just, but you know, still, it's like, it's about the execution. And, you know, like when you're so reliant on everything else, and you're not reliant on the learning that comes with, you know, doing the hard work and understanding the, you know, like what works and what doesn't, I think people get themselves into situations where they don't have the background or the foundation to be able to complete work like that, like. And then they're kind of exposed in a lot of ways when they have to present their work, and it's like, how come it's not, you know, what I'm expecting, you know? Yeah, I'm just kind of rambling at this point about art stuff. Won't get into details, but there was a producer I followed and loved listening to their music. And just to make it short, they were in a relationship and they didn't treat their partner well. Oh, used to follow. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, you know. Again, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and preach to the choir about the, you know, the dangers of you know, AI or whatnot. I'm because the thing is, like, you can convince a segment of people, but, you know, there's other people will believe what they want to believe, and, you know, they'll do what they want to do and stuff like that. And, you know, like, I'm not even unfamiliar with having art friends who are exploring the dark side, basically, at this point, you know, because they're looking at it as, man, this is such a waste of time if they can do all this, and then they don't have the motivation to kind of continue and to you know. So it's like I can tell them a lot of things, but, you know, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So, you know, it's sad. It's kind of sad, but, you know, again, you can only do what makes you happy. You can't, you know, it's one thing to to make suggestions for your friends and you know, hope that they take them, but it's another, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. That's a very old adage. It just probably aged me like a gazillion years, but you know, that it is very true. It's very true, you know. I feel that, yeah, you know. And I think that, you know, like regardless of what the future holds for a lot of artists, you know, there is like a surge of, for example, creators, like even streamers who do art more traditionally and stuff like that because of all the things that are happening, right? Like more traditional styled artists who are using more analog mediums like you know, like painting and things like that on that are streaming on Twitch and stuff like that, right? So like, you know, like I think there's always gonna be a niche, and not just a niche, but rather like there's always going to be room for people who want to do the arts, you know, like the more classic ways and stuff like that. I mean, it's always going to be a thing, and especially now in these times, there's probably always going to be like room for people for human-made works. I will say, I'll just call it like that. You know, there's kind of a niche that's built, that's kind of growing. That's all about that. So I think it's always going to be there. I think it's always going to be there, you know? Let's see. How about this? There. I put a little bit of red underneath this shadow area over here because his head is so close to Pomni's hat that light would reflect back that way and stuff. There's probably a lot of places where things like that are happening too. Like over in the hands over here where it's like bluish. So and then more red over here. This art piece looks amazing. I gotta go, unfortunately. It was cool talking to you, though, again, fam. Y'all have a fantastic stream later, guys. See ya, Golden. Thanks for stopping by. As always, appreciate it, you know? Let's see. How is the key a part of Jax's color also? Oh, autosave. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. So I gotta detail out this key a little bit. Yep. You know, and this year, I say this every year. I feel bad. I say this every year, but every year I'm like, okay, this is the year. This is the year I dive in. I dive into the spice of life. I will dive in this year. I say it every year. It never happens. And it never happens not because like of willingness or anything like that, or you know, like retiring from sussiness, right? Like you guys mentioned earlier. But I think it's definitely more to do with the fact that like I just don't have the time But sometimes I feel like, okay, maybe that's just an excuse, and maybe it's just my overall commitment is not high enough to get more sussy. You know, if you know what I mean, like, you know. So I'm trying to find like a good medium for how I'm gonna approach that. And I almost feel like anytime I draw like a regular artwork, what I need to do is figure out like certain poses or images where I can double up on them a little bit. Because if it's a time management situation, then maybe the issue is I'm choosing the wrong images to work on, right? Like maybe I need to work on artwork that can double up and stuff like that, if you guys know what I mean, right? Like I think maybe that's the major thing stopping me. Is it the fear of being banned? Not really, Nomus, because it's not that I would ever do any of that art here on Twitch or anywhere else that you know has certain terms of service, right? Like, you know, obviously I kind of know better than to do that, like you know, here, because there's other services where I can actually do streaming and that sort of thing, right? Like it's just more that like when I work on artwork, I can like, okay, like with this stream here, right? Obviously I can't do sussy art here, right? It's quite impossible, right? Which is understandable because, you know, when you consider the user base of who's using Twitch, right? Like, you know, you obviously cannot do that sort of thing on Twitch, right? But like, so that means a lot of the times when I draw fan art and stuff like that, I have to, you know, be under I have to work under TOS, right? Like terms of service and stuff like that, right? Like I can't break that and stuff like that, right? So that's taking up time for me, and I don't really have the time to do artwork of any other kind because I'm working on this already, right? But like, and I'm not saying that I would do a freaking sussy work of freaking this of all things, right? But like, I would say that maybe the key is when I'm drawing, like, let's say I'm drawing Nikkei, right? Like if I'm drawing characters from Nikkei, and you know, like I'm drawing Dorothy and stuff like that, maybe the idea is to draw Dorothy and have an alternate version of it that fulfills that, you know, like, so I can effectively double dip on the work that I'm doing. So it's like I'm trying to figure it out right now, because it's like, you know, there's a lot of there is a lot of like considerations that I have to make when it comes to doing what artwork, and it's more to do with, you know, like what do I have time for and where am I streaming it, right? And you know, again, that's the other thing, right? Why not draw a character from Stellar Blade? That's the thing, right? Like I can actually draw Eve from Stellar Blade, you know, which was like, you know, I would not mind doing that and stuff like that, right? But you know, like then I could draw, because we all know what Stellar Blade is like and stuff like that. We all know the type of art that is, you know, associated with said game and stuff like that, right? So, you know, there's an opportunity there for me to do something interesting with Stellar Blade on the more sussy side of things, right? It's like, you know, so maybe it's just a case of I need to choose to do certain projects that hit both things at the same time, so that I'm able to get away with double dipping on any one, right? Let's see. Hold on, I gotta fix this because the glow here is just not working for me. Oh, that's why it's like that. Okay, never mind. That's working. And then what's this over here? Why is this? Oh, because I tried to do the reflection from from Jax's head on top of here. But actually, I shouldn't have a reflection from Jax up here because the light is coming down and bouncing off. If they do reflect off of each other, but the shadow should be enough there. I don't think I need, you know, I don't think I need an extra there. Okay, I think that should be okay for Jax. Just gotta do one little thing. Hold on. Just a couple of little things more for Jax because I need to do the key. Okay, why is nothing happening? Because I'm on the wrong tool. Yeah, I'm like the only artist that well, okay, I'm not the only artist, but I think I'm like overthinking things and I should just go for the thing that makes me happy. And it's kind of interesting because Mooney always motivates me to do whatever I want and stuff like that, and she doesn't think about it as crazy deeply as I do. Which is probably the way that I should approach it myself then. There, okay. Let's see. What else do I need? What else do I need? And okay, so time for Kinger and then like all the other characters. So I think Kinger is like the fourth most you know, detailed character here. Yeah, it gets easier as you go. It really does. Because as you go, you know, the details for certain things just get easier to do, right? So and then I gotta somehow replicate whatever color this is. Right? So it is this color. Okay. Yeah, that's why I sometimes you'll see me undo the layer style and stuff like that and just kind of go in and hope that I can like figure out what color that is or something like that, right? And then like, you know, I'm trying to add some randomness to this with texturing and stuff like that, right? It's probably not as effective as I was thinking it in my head it was gonna be. Let's see. But yeah, I think I'm still thinking about like, you know, what characters are coming next after, because I think I've done quite a bit in terms of my VTuber training arc. I can still continue to draw VTubers, by the way. Like, there are so many things that I kind of want to do. Like, recently Inanis came out with the Monster Hunter Wilds like costume and stuff like that, and I think that the costume looked really cool and stuff like that. So I kind of want to draw that and stuff like that. And then, like, you know, like there's like stuff that I want to do. There's a lot of stuff. I wish I had like I wish I didn't need to sleep. Basically, sometimes I think, because if I didn't need to sleep, then I can keep drawing non-stop and stuff like that, right? But you know, that's impossible. Your body just needs to sleep. Unless you're an insomniac, then that's a whole different issue. That's a whole different issue then. And then I know that people who do sussy art also, they actually are on what is the service called again? I keep forgetting. Picarto. I keep forgetting, and it's like Picarto. Yes. They are on that service and stuff like that. I actually made an account to check it out and see what's going on there, and I there are a lot of impressive artists, I will say, over there, doing the thing. They are making the dream work and stuff, right, over there. And you know, like, now what should I do the same and follow suit with all these guys again? It's not that I wouldn't want to, but do I realistically have the time to do that? Probably not. You know, I the only reason that I'm able to multi-stream YouTube and this is because there are plugins that allow it and stuff like that, and they relaxed a lot of the rules behind doing stuff like that and stuff like that. And I, you know, this is an easy way for me to double dip on my content, like, and it helps me to what is it, archive my stuff, because as you guys know, it's like Twitch doesn't archive my VODs. I don't pay for it to have the ability to have the VODs for the long term and stuff like that. I think you have to pay for that or something. I forget what it is, but I don't have that, so I would have to manually click on like upload to YouTube a lot and stuff like that, and I'm too lazy for that. I'm too lazy for even that simpleness there. So, you know, this helps me out a lot when it's automatically doing it for me. Sleep is for the weak, you know. It is for the weak, but you know, it's unfortunately part of human biology, unless you're not human. But I'm sure the majority of you who are watching this are, in fact, human. So, what am I doing here? So Mooney made a lot of great choices in terms of the shading and the shadows and stuff like that. But some of them are a little too soft. So what I'm doing is I'm just going over what was done here and just reinforcing certain things, right? Because you always want to have like a mix of hard shadows and soft shadows with your image. You don't want to just have them too soft, because then it looks very photoshoppy in a lot of ways. And then you also don't want to have all of them super, like, with hard lines like that, because then it's just very, it looks very unrefined. Like, it's almost just like not unrefined. I shouldn't say unrefined. It's not unrefined. It's just, you know, the look I'm going for is not just a straight up cell style like type art and stuff like that. Even though it is a lot, it looks better for me anyway. Like, my preference is to have the characters have a mix of some cell style features and then some things that make it a little bit less and more detailed and stuff like that, right? So I do like having a combination of different types of shadows on here, so that's why I'm going over these a little bit again. Softening up in certain areas and then just like blurring other areas so that it's not all so like under the eye here, this shadow should be a little bit more hard-edged, as it were. But then the interior shadow on the eyeball, I like to do a little bit softer because it's like, it's in the eye. It's like the softest area, right? And then, what am I gonna do here? So I'm gonna go like this and then like this. And then inside of the eye, we're gonna do a little bit of erasing, just a little bit. Because even though the shadow is there on underneath the eye, there's a part of it that's going to catch the reflected light from the objects around him, including his white cloak thing here, and then also his own blocky chest piece like skin, plasticky chest piece skin. I do like this effect here, though. I just wanted to erase it a little bit so I could make it a little bit more softer. There. Oh, let me look at Kinger's eyes, actually. Let me look at those eyes. Okay. Oh, he does have the glossiness in there. Okay. Let's see. How am I gonna do this? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. How am I supposed to... Okay. Let's just soften up with some of these shines a little bit, because they're a little bit too... Let's see. Okay, and then... Okay, and then we'll do a little bit of this. And then grab this, and then go like this with the eyeballs. So I guess I'm gonna have to put the shines in here instead. So and then maybe add one more layer on top of all this. And then this is Kinger Eye Shines. Yes, that's what I name my layers. I named them the most basic thing possible. Let's see. Oops, okay, maybe that does not work. We'll just do it like that. Alright, there. One is a little bit lesser, that glow. But yeah, there we go. Kinger fully, well, not quite fully shaded in yet. Let me just add to him a little bit. It gets easier as you go. It seriously does, because it's like every layer is like, I mean, every character is like, because the characters get smaller and smaller as we go, right? So like Kinger is the fourth biggest character here, and then the next one would be freaking, I think, Zubul over there, and then no, Zubul's up here, and then Gangle. So it's like, you know, it gets easier as you go, which is the saving grace of doing all this. Yes. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's coming along. Okay, yeah. And then let's get oops, I was on the wrong layer. Let's see. How am I gonna do this one? Probably like this. Where I just go. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not working. Okay, this is not working out like I thought it would, so I wonder. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the look of the reflected gloss over here. Okay. And then there's that, which probably should be a little bit... Whoa. Okay. Whoops. See? Easy. Yeah, as you go through them, like the smaller the character gets, the more the less detail that you need to add to it. So it gets easier and easier as you go. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get one of the easy wins over here. Oh man. Where are you? Where were you colored? Okay, there. Oh, there. Okay. Again, you know, like Mooney did an amazing job with this. Like when she started arting this out in terms of the coloring and stuff like that, and you know, it really helped me out a lot for her to do this much, because now I'm just like, you know, figuring out what it was that she did and just adding to it, right? Like the choices for shading that she made are all good. They're the ones that I probably would have done myself, and then I'm just kind of adding here various like additions now to it. So, you know, I feel like, you know, like not everybody gets the opportunity to have like a colorist for them and stuff like that, right? But I could see why in the comics industry, like a lot of the popular artists and stuff like that, they have them. It makes things a lot easier. And you know, you see this in a lot of industries as well, in terms of art, like the manga industry and stuff like that, with the assistants who do the backgrounds and all the stuff, and then the main artist comes in and does, you know, like the fixes or the finishing touches and things like that. There. Okay. Yeah, and always have the combination of soft and hard lines for the shadows. It always helps. And Zubul. Let's see. Okay. We're almost there. We're almost there. The end is near. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting quiet because I know that I'm almost like there with this, right? So like once I get into this mode where I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm almost done. Then my entire focus is trying to get it done as soon as I can. Amigo. That's all I needed to do. Didn't really need to do anything for Kamigu. And then the gloink. Did I have to draw a gloink in here? Not really. But I wanted to. That's all I needed to do with the gloink. Just make the shading darker. That's it. That's literally it. Oh, and then the treasure chest is the final component here. I do like how that was done. I do like the choices here made with the streaky lines and stuff like that. I want to preserve that as much as I can. Yeah, I'm not gonna change much of this, but what I'm gonna do is add a... I'm gonna add some details to this that... Let's see, I need some kind of brush that has like a texture. Like okay, yeah, this works. Okay. I'm just waiting for the autosave to go through. It was like, oh, Bard, what are you doing? I'm just very subtly adding the streak lines of wood, like a wood texture type of thing. This is very subtly. I'm trying not to press very hard on it until I get to certain parts of it. Oops. Sometimes I press a little bit too hard there, so it's okay. We'll just blend those in. And then take a hard eraser and just get rid of all the crusty stuff. And then add one more level to this all. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright. I think that's it. There's little things that I have to correct here and stuff like that, right? But this is the whole thing, I think. Yeah. This is probably one of the most filled pieces of art that I've done, and I think it requires me to also kind of like fix a little bit of the shading for certain characters here, right? Because I think maybe Ragatha and Jax are a little bit too dark, maybe, so I might have to play with it a little bit in terms of the layer values and stuff like that. But overall, so far, pretty good. Like, see, I brought Jax a little bit more brighter, a little bit, and then Ragatha also probably could be a little bit brighter, so that it's more subtle, like the change between Pomni being so bright to the characters in the back being a little bit more shaded in is more subtle than what I had it, where it's just they're suddenly so dark as compared to everyone else. Yeah, but there's a little finishing touches that I feel like I need to make to this, but I can do those offline, and I think it's done here. Like, this is I can call this one finished. And like again, like, it's not like there aren't things that I can't improve a little bit, right? Like, there, the sun here is a little bit too weirdly, some of it is blurred and some of it isn't. So I gotta fix parts of that, and I gotta add little details of rim lighting and all that other stuff. But I think I'm good with the way Pomni is colored, and as long as she's colored well, the rest will kind of fall in place. But yeah, I think that's it for us tonight. Thanks again for dropping by, everybody. Like, I do appreciate it when you guys stop by. We chat about weird things like cryptids and urban exploring and creepy stuff and stuff like that. I do like all that stuff, and like, we got a lot of art done. The next time I will be back is Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, United States. I will try to be doing arting, but I don't know what arting I will be doing. That's the thing. So there may be a chance that maybe 1 or 2 streams might not happen next week, because again, I have to focus on a certain commission, and I also have to finish one more thing and get my stuff printed for the tabling at CarrierCon. So it's going to be a very busy week, next 2 or 3 weeks and stuff like that. So I gotta focus like crazy on arting and stuff like that, because again, this is the first artist alley that for this year. I won't say that it's the first artist alley we've done, but it's the first one for the year, and I really kind of want to, at least, I know that I'm not as prepared as I should be, but I think putting your best foot forward regardless is super important. It doesn't matter how prepared you are for the artist alley, you just do as much as you can before then and stuff like that. And if you guys happen to be at CarrierCon, maybe you'll see some prints by my avatar, my earthly avatar, who I will send in my place. You never know. We shall see. But yeah, let's see. Before we call it a day, let's see what's going on. Elsewhere, I think. Let's see. We did that raid previously. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody arting that we would like to drop in and say hello to. Let's see. The hardest part is finding somebody to raid into, because it's like I always get really quiet because I'm like searching, like I'm deep in searching thought, and I'm like, okay, who do I Who do I go to? Who do I go to? And again, you know, sometimes maybe it's a case of we gotta drop in and say hello to new people, right? Like we gotta do that sometimes, right? But it depends on what kind of art, right? Because like I don't want to drop in on just anybody and then, you know, like it's not the type of art that you guys like, right? Actually, it's been a minute since we've dropped by Oak Tea Party, so let's go pay a visit. Again, you know, I will be back next Tuesday, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. For those of you on YouTube, I will see you next time. Have a great night. But for those of you who are following me on Twitch, let's go. Let's go say hello to Oak Tea Party, who does amazing watercolor artwork, and I think you guys will like it. All right, here we go. All right, see you guys next time. All right, bye.